Story 1. The Intruder at Grandpa's House. It was a cool autumn evening, the kind where the leaves rustle softly in the wind and the air smells faintly of wood smoke and pine. I was staying overnight at my grandfather's old house, a charming but aging place nestled in the woods just outside town. To me, Grandpa's house was a sanctuary, a place filled with childhood memories, the creaking floorboards, the scent of his leather armchair, the faded photographs on the mantel. That night, as the sky turned deep indigo, I settled into the guest bedroom. The gentle hum of the old heater and the occasional hoot of an owl outside were my lullabies. But just as I was about to drift off, everything changed. The lights flickered once, then twice, and suddenly the entire house went black, total darkness. The power had gone out. I sat up in bed, heart pounding. In the pitch black, the shadows seemed to grow deeper, heavier, more suffocating. I grabbed my phone, no signal, and then, through the bedroom window, I saw it. A white figure, pale and indistinct, gliding silently just beyond the glass. It wasn't human, or at least it didn't look human. The glow from the street lamp down the road barely reached that side of the house, yet there it was, motionless, watching. Frozen with fear, I slammed the door shut and bolted it. My breath, coming out in quick, panicked gasps. I called out, "Grandpa, Grandma!" but my voice felt small and weak in the vast dark. Footsteps echoed through the hallway. Grandpa appeared at the door, holding an old revolver I'd never seen before. His face was grim, eyes sharp, with the urgency of a man who has faced danger before. "Stay behind me," he whispered. Together, we crept toward my room, where the figure had vanished. The window was intact, but muddy footprints led away into the overgrown bushes. Grandma appeared with the kitchen knife in hand, tense and ready. Grandpa fired a single warning shot into the air. The sharp crack echoed through the woods, shattering the silence. No reply, no movement. We called the police the next day, but with no cameras or witnesses, it became a story no one could solve. The strange figure never came back, but from then on, the house felt different, like it was watching us back. Grandpa installed locks on every window and door, and I never stayed there overnight alone again. That night taught me something vital. Even in places built on love and memories, the shadows can creep in, and you must be ready. Story 2. The Storm and the Stranger in the Woods. Cass and I had been looking forward to this trip for months. Her work was exhausting, and I needed a break from the city's endless noise. So, we packed up my truck and headed upstate to my family's small mobile home, a tiny cabin nestled deep in the woods. It was only about 600 square feet, a single bedroom, a small kitchen, and a bathroom. But it was ours, a slice of quiet paradise. The first day was perfect. We unpacked, took a long walk by the creek, and cooked dinner on the little propane stove. The air smelled of pine and wet earth, a scent I hadn't realized I missed so much. But on Saturday afternoon, the sky shifted. What had started as light clouds grew thick and dark, swallowing the sunlight. A storm was coming fast. We hurried to pack our bikes and fishing gear into the outbuilding just as the first fat raindrops hit the dirt road. The wind picked up, bending the trees and sending leaves flying. Under the canopy on the back deck, we sat watching the storm roll in. Lightning forked across the sky, lighting the woods in bursts of white. Thunder rumbled, deep and ominous. Then, from the shadows of the trees, I heard it. A voice. It was loud, angry maybe, but the words were jumbled and strange, like a cry for help that didn't make sense. I stepped off the deck into the rain, squinting into the dark. A flash of lightning revealed a figure standing just beyond the tree. Line. A man, his clothes startlingly bright in the storm's light, almost glowing. He didn't move closer, didn't say a word. He just stood there, watching. Cass grabbed my arm, whispering urgently to come back inside. But I wanted to help. Maybe he was lost, hurt, or worse. Suddenly there was scratching at the door. No polite knocking, frantic, urgent banging. My heart raced. Cass ducked into the bedroom and grabbed the old rifle my dad left behind. I felt the weight of it in my hands, cold and real. Then the pounding shifted to the windows. First the bedroom window, then the living room. Whoever was outside was desperate to get in. Adrenaline surged. I opened the door with the rifle raised, ready to shoot if necessary. But the porch was empty. A flash of lightning lit the man again, standing outside the window like a ghost. I fired a warning shot into the sky. He cursed loudly, then bolted, disappearing into the woods with voices echoing behind him. We spent the night locked inside, windows covered, hearts pounding with every sound. When morning came, the storm had passed, but the fear stayed. We packed up and left. The memory of those glowing eyes burned into my mind forever. Story 3. The weekend getaway that turned dark. We wanted a peaceful escape from the chaos of our lives, a simple weekend in nature, away from the city's noise. So, Cass and I drove to my family's mobile home, a tiny structure surrounded by thick woods. It was small, just 600 square feet, but it had everything we needed: running water, electricity, a cozy bed. The first day was easy. We unpacked, cooked dinner, and settled in. But as the sun set on Saturday, the sky darkened unnaturally fast. Thunder rumbled low, and the wind whispered threats through the trees. We moved everything inside and locked the doors. The storm arrived, with a fury. Lightning tore across the sky, thunder shaking the walls. But then, through the noise of rain and wind, I heard something else. A voice from the woods. It was loud, almost desperate, but I couldn't make out the words. Curious and uneasy, I stepped out onto the porch. Lightning flashed, illuminating a man standing about 20 feet away. His clothes were unnervingly bright, white, almost glowing. He didn't approach, just stared silently. Suddenly, the door rattled violently. No knock, just frantic banging. Cass hid in the bedroom, her breathing shallow and fast. The pounding moved to the windows, sharp, urgent, relentless. I grabbed my father's rifle and prepared to defend us. My hands shook, but I steadied myself. When I flung open the door, the figure was gone, but lightning revealed him again at the window. The glowing man, silent and watching. I fired a warning shot. He shouted curses, retreating into the night with distant voices trailing behind him. That night shattered our sense of safety. We left first thing in the morning, locking the doors behind us. We never returned alone.